Hey friends, we're back for some more reading with You Can Read Pout Poutfish. But before we read today, I want to talk to you about how sometimes words that we know can have different endings, and seeing those different endings on the words can make us think that we don't know the word. But we learned in our classroom that sometimes these are just sight words in disguise. So you could have a sight word with a new ending that makes the word look a little bit different, but we can still figure it out. So here are a couple different endings that we could have on words. And I want to talk to you about what they would sound like at the end of a word. So an S just sounds like a S. An ED, this one can trick us a little bit because the E is silent. It doesn't say anything. So if I see ED at the end, I just say D. And this last one, in my classroom, we call this King of Ing. I-N-G spells ing. So I-N-G says ing. So sometimes our words have these endings on the end, and they can trick us to think that we don't know what the word is. So in our book, we have these three sight words: like, look, and want. But they're not by themselves. They do have some of these different endings. So before we read, we're going to go for a little bit of a walk to see if we can find these words and figure out what they are so that we do not get tricked. So when you see one, tell me to stop turning the page. Like, look, or want. I see one. Right here, I see like. But it has an ending on it. It's got this one, and we know it says D. So let's sound it out. Like, D. Like, D. Liked. This word is liked. Do you see liked again anywhere on that page? Right here. When we get to this page, we'll make sure that we say liked. Let's keep looking. I see like, look, and want. I'll leave these up here so we can remember what they look like. Oh, I bet you see these words that we've already sounded out. We don't need to figure them out again because we figured them out here and they're the same exact words. Do you remember what that word is? Liked. I have liked here and liked here. Wonderful. Let's keep going. Remember, we're looking for like, look, and want. You see look, I see look. You're right. Right here. Look. We have that same ending on this one. ED, but we know the E doesn't say anything, so it says D. Let's figure out our new word with that ending on there. Looked. 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 Very good. All right, let's keep going. I see looked on there 2 more times. Here and here. When we read, we don't need to sound these ones out again because we've already done it. Looked, looked, looked. Here we go. Like, look, and want. There's that want word that we've been looking for. It has that same ED ending on there. Want-ed. Wanted. Ooh, I see looked again. I see it 2 times. Do you see looked? Very good. Right here and right here. Looked, looked. Excellent. Now that we figured this out, let's go back and read it. See if you can read it with me. Here I go. Mr. Fish was about to pout. He did not know how to read. He felt sad. Then he met his teacher. I will help you, said his teacher. Okay, we've got some sight words in disguise on this page that we figured out. Mr. Fish met letters. He liked them all. He liked 4 of them best. Mr. Fish met words. He liked them all. He liked 1 of them best. Ooh, here's that page where we see looked 3 times. Mr. Fish met books. He looked at pictures. He looked at letters. He looked at words. He began to read. He was happy, but then he got stuck. He met a very big word. He tried, but he could not read it. Blub. Do you remember this one? Wanted to give up, but he did not. In this sentence, I see another word with an ED at the end, right here. I know that the ED says D. Let's see if we can figure out this word. Ask, asked, asked. He asked for help. I see looked again. Mr. Fish and his teacher looked at the word. They looked at the letters. They made sounds. I see another ED right here. ED says D. Learn, learn, D. Learned. They learned the word together. I see another ED at the end of this one. ED says D. Let's figure out this word. Earn, turned, turned. Then Mr. Fish turned the page. He kept on, ooh, I see ing. He kept on reading. I can read, said Mr. Fish. No, pout about it. Now we know when we see special endings on words, we're not going to let them trick us. We can look at the ending, figure out the word, and then we can tackle the whole big word together, even if it's a really hard one, just like Mr. Pout Fish did. So tomorrow we'll be back for some more learning. Thanks for learning with me today.